Thank you to PROACT and Jennifer King for inviting us to speak today. As Jen said, I'm Julie Smith. I'm president of David's New Day. We're a nonprofit organization out of Bucks County dedicated to spreading awareness and hope in the face of addiction. And really our mission is to subsidize the cost of addiction treatment and services for those who need it but can't afford it. I'm honored to be here representing our organization, whose reach and impact would not nearly be what it is today without the collaboration and partnership we felt from the beginning from PROACT. What led me to be standing in front of you today was the loss of my younger brother, David. At my core, I am simply a sister who lost her brother. A loss so devastating that my family and I didn't believe we'd ever recover. We went from 5 to 4, a piece of us missing. March 10th, 2013 was a day like any other. David and his son Russ were supposed to go to my parents for the day. When several phone calls went unanswered, our worst fear was realized. Spring seemed to have sprung early that year. There was a warm breeze in the air that day, and I recall thinking, if David just could hang on till spring, he could shed the heaviness of winter and find new hope. That thinking was a bit naive looking back now. See, for all the years that David struggled, I, or we for that matter, didn't understand addiction. We viewed it as his thing or something he'd grow out of or easily tire of. We never viewed it as imminent, as life or death. The disease of addiction is cunning. David only showed us what he wanted us to see, and we only saw what we wanted to believe, and that's really a lethal combination. He did find recovery for many years, and for that we're incredibly grateful. These were years that were filled with so much joy, with the birth of his son, who he adored, him and his fiancée finding their home, and the summer family vacations we take down the shore. He was not his addiction. He was kind and he was warm. He told my parents he loved them all the time and couldn't get enough of my niece and nephews. He had a magnetic personality. People were drawn to him. His voice was loud, deep, and gravelly. He was handsome. He had hopes. He had dreams. He had a life worth living. He was not his addiction. In the wake of David's passing, we were left deciding how we were going to pick up the pieces. My parents sought counseling and support groups. My older brother and I returned to work, and we tried to pretend as though nothing had changed, but everything had. I carried with me a heaviness on my chest that I needed to do something with. I was sad that my family was dismantled. I was angry that his life was cut short. So something had to change, and then it happened. One day while driving home from work, my mind wandering, I thought that if I couldn't change our past, we could do something to help others' futures, and that's when David's New Day was born. The name came from one of the last conversations my husband had with my brother. David was always expressing how much guilt he felt over the things he had done. My husband told him not to think about the past. Think about today. Have a good day today, and then have a good day tomorrow. And each day will build off the next until life is what you always wanted it to be. It would be a new day. And through divine intervention, that's truly what I believe this was, we found the Council of Southeast Pennsylvania. We met with the council ready to take on the world. The council helped to develop our plan. They let us know where the gaps in care existed, where our funds could be best used, and where we could make the most impact. And with that, we established the David's New Day grant with the Council of Southeast Pennsylvania in July of 2014. The council is filled with so many knowledgeable, kind, and caring people fielding my calls all hours of the day and night. We are so grateful for their partnership and know that we would not be where we are today without their endless support. Through this partnership and our direct assistance, we've managed to help over 450 individuals. We help to close the gap. We fund for things such as co-pays and co-insurance, ID renewals, medication costs. We provide SEPTA key cards, and last but certainly not least, we provide recovery house rent. We in PROACT partner with therapists when an individual is being discharged from rehab, and we help with the discharge planning. We find a recovery home and we fund the first 2 weeks' rent. Our goal is to remove all barriers to care and help the person easily transition back to life. Last year, with the generous funding from the Caitlin Murphy Foundation, we launched our Fresh Start initiative, where we provide toiletry bags to recovery homes, because oftentimes people entering the recovery homes come with nothing. So those bags include toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, things of that nature. We also provide clothing when needed. So we just kept pounding the pavement, helping as many people as we could. It wasn't until we began receiving thank you notes that we realized we're really making a difference. One read, "I just wanted to thank you for helping me get into a recovery home. I was in a dark place in my life, and what you did for me really helped